Right, hello, welcome back to BJG Reptiles. This is Helix, and I'm Brandon, and today I'm going to be talking about the spider ball python, or the spider morph, or the spider genetics. So, as I said, this is Helix. Helix is a rehomed animal from snakes and adders. Now, snakes and adders had this animal brought into them, and I have decided to rehome it. Now, as you can see, he has a little bit of what's called corkscrewing, which means that he can't really keep his head still when he's moving. He kind of spins his body. He also has a bit of a head wobble, which is similar. That basically means that, well, you can kind of see it there. You see how his head is bobbing side to side? And this is all because of this morph here and the genetics that go along with it. So it has been theorized that it can create a neurological problem. As you can see, he can't keep his head still, like I said. He slants, he tilts sideways. Now, fortunately enough for me, this animal here actually doesn't have any problems eating or moving around his enclosure. He is a little bit slower than the other ball pythons I've got. As you can see, he kind of takes his time with everything, or she does, I've not sexed them. They are a captive bred 2018 animal, so they are 5 years old, and they're very friendly, to be fair. Whoever had them before clearly had them as a pet. They have been handled quite a bit. They know that I'm not food. They know I'm not going to hurt them. They're very, very head friendly, and I think it's probably been rehomed because of the money issue, either money issues or like the energy crisis that's going on currently in the UK. And unfortunately, it had to be rehomed, and I am now looking after it, and I'll be looking after it until it passes away. So, you know, probably 20 years plus down the line. They can live for up to like 30 years in captivity. So, but today is not about this snake in particular, it's about the spider morph and if I believe that it is good, if it's okay to breed, or if it's the opposite. Now, personally, I believe the opposite. I don't think that this animal should be bred. This animal specifically will not be bred, even though I am a hobbyist breeder of ball pythons. I've got some over there off the camera that are breeding. I've got some het pieds that are together, and they look beautiful. But this animal, because of the risks that it poses when I'm breeding, it would just be unfair to breed it and produce more, and I think that's fair enough. Now, I understand why people do breed it. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal. I mean, look at the patterns on that. It is a gorgeous animal. But I just think it's cruel for the animal, because the neurological issues, like I said, can cause eating issues, mobility issues, and much, much more. Some of them can die. It doesn't happen very often, but they can. And it's just not fair. Now, saying that, there is some research going off in the States, in America, that is trying to prove that this isn't a neurological trait, rather it is a genetic trait that can be bred out of the animal. Now, if that is true, that is amazing, because like I said, these animals are beautiful. They are stunning ball pythons, and if it wasn't for the neurological issue, I would breed them. Now, this animal in particular, as you can see going sideways, is a prime example of why you shouldn't breed ball pythons that have this genetic in them. Now, as I stated the reasons earlier, I'm not going to state them again, but in my personal opinion, if you're going to breed ball pythons or snakes, look into the morphs that you have and see if there's any risks, because I don't think it's worth breeding this animal, especially in the UK, because you don't get any money out of it anyway, because they're pretty cheap. And I think you've just been cruel. If for some reason that research comes through as true, and you can breed them out of it, then I believe they should be able to line breed spider ball pythons until they do not have this genetic issue, and they should be allowed to breed. But I think that all breeders and all hobbyist breeders should boycott breeding these snakes, because it's just unfair. Now, I don't want to go on too much. This is probably only going to be a short video, but I just wanted to... Well, I've been away for a few weeks, as you can see. I've not uploaded on Sundays, and I just wanted my video back to be an important one, and on something that I thoroughly believe. And I thoroughly believe that this little moron that's going upside down right now is a prime example of why you shouldn't breed spider ball pythons. And this isn't even a bad example. This is a pretty good spider ball python. A lot of them can be much, much worse. And like I said, it's just not worth it. Now, like I said, this has been a short video. I am up for conversation with anyone about this gene and what they believe. However, I'm not going to argue with people. If you are going to argue or be rude or berate me in the comments, I just won't respond. If you are going to have a civil conversation, you can either message me on my Instagram at bjgreptiles, or you can comment below and I will talk to you. But that has been it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.